Welcome back to the Lift and Glow Fitness podcast. Today I am here with the team. We've got Jenny and Lois with us today, and we are going to talk about getting back on track after holiday because we are getting into September. The school holidays are over, so all of the mums are getting back to the normal routine, and also like holiday season is kind of coming to the end for most of us. So we thought it would be good to share some tips on what to do when you've been on holiday and you're trying to get back on track, because it's something that a lot of girls struggle with, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely is.
I feel like every time a client goes on holiday, the question, like in check-in form, like the question box is always, give me some tips for getting back to it. And I'm like, just get back to it.
Just do your normal routine that you were doing before you went. Yeah.
Everyone sets a goal around a holiday. That's the thing. So when they come back, it's like, what's next?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing now with my life?
Yes.
Or like people go a bit too like, not full on, but like they want to like really,
intense.
like you want to feel good, don't you, when you're going on holiday? And I have been there and I've done it before where like I'm really, really smashing it, and it's a bit more intense than your normal day-to-day routine, and it can be a bit more relaxed. But I think you then get into that mentality of like,
you've got to do that when you get home again.
Yeah, if I'm too relaxed, that's all my hard work gonna, and that's like where like an all or nothing mentality comes in from it, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I actually think that I love that people have these short-term goals of working towards a holiday, but this is why I always say, like, the guiding star, the North Star of everything has to be like your long-term health. Because if you're only thinking about holidays and you're only thinking about like if I was only thinking about my wedding, then I would only be thinking about the wedding. I'm not thinking about long-term health and well-being. And I might actually do things that aren't in line with my health for that goal.
100%.
So I do feel like the health has to be like the number one thing. And then these little short-term goals are great to have.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be so hard to get back to it, because we should be focusing on long-term health and habits.
Not sustainable either.
They're creating a routine that they like hate.
Yes.
As in they need to get back on track because they're coming home to something that they hate.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't need to get back on track if the track was something that you really loved.
Yeah.
You're coming back and you're going, I don't want to do that training regime again.
Well, that's the thing for me. So when I go on holiday, and I think yous are probably the same, when I come home from holiday, I'm like, can't wait to eat my normal meals.
Yeah,
exactly.
I can't wait to get the gym.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get
100%.
out with the dog. Like, I actually really get excited to come home. And I don't know, I always say, like, I do think that it shows that I live a really great life, that I'm excited to come home.
Yeah.
But I'm also excited for my routine, because I just love my routine.
Yeah, same.
So I think that that's because our routines aren't about like restriction and training 7 days a week. We don't have the intensity type thing to it that a lot of our clients currently do, that we're trying to kind of pull them away from. So I think like the answer is, how do you get back on track after holiday? It's literally, if you were working on your health and habits before your holiday, you can work on them after your holiday.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as intense. So like, if you were going to the gym, so say if you were trying to lose fat and you're like, you know what, I'm all right now, I want to go back to it, I want to eat a little bit more, and maybe want to take your foot off the pedal a bit with training. If you were doing 5 days a week, go down to 3. If you were tracking your food, maybe let's not track food, let's work on habits. Like there might be a little shift in that way, so that you're not like, because I don't believe that anyone should be tracking the food forever.
No,
it's like this small
really
little thing that you use.
No.
Yeah, it's a tool that you use from time to time that you go back onto sometimes. But it doesn't mean that just because it was intense before your holiday that it has to be when you get back.
I also think that like, keep some of the things you do when you go away.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like go and do all your normal training. Like if you don't want to, that's fine. Some people like a complete rest. But when I go away, I try and keep some key things. Like my steps might stay the same. I might get a walk in a day, even if it's small, just getting up of a morning and keeping some element of my routine that I would do here in the UK.
Yeah.
Keeps me sort of in the mindset that I'm still coming home to do the same thing because I'm doing it here.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it that much that I want to get my liquids in because I don't want to dehydrate. I want to walk because I want to feel nice, and I might not do 5 gym sessions, but I might do 2. So just something that's like going to keep me going, but also not going to be a complete halt, because it's harder to gain momentum when you get home when you've stopped it all. Does that make
That's
sense?
such a good point to make, because I think a lot of people see holidays as like a free for all, whereas for me, when I go on holiday, like I might be at an all-inclusive holiday, but I actually don't have pancakes for brekkie and then followed by a full English. Like
it ends up feeling
by day 2, I will feel like shit.
Yeah,
like I've done it before. I've done
and
it
you
before
crave
where,
the goodness then, I
yeah,
think.
like I've done it before where I've dieted like majorly up until a holiday. Then I go on that holiday and by day 3 I feel like shit.
And you can't go to the toilet and you're like,
yeah.
And
Your
I'm like,
stomach's killing.
But the reason that I reacted that way on holiday is because I restricted so much in the run up to the holiday that when I got there, I was like, I'm going for it. I'm eating everything.
I think that's what everyone does because they're on holiday, they want to let loose.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to like I've had some clients recently go away on holiday and when they've come back, they've went like, Jen, I felt amazing because I was eating all like the fresh fish, the fresh meat. And when I wanted to indulge, I did indulge, but then I didn't go overboard. And I think it's about, I'm not saying restrict yourself on holiday at all. Like we work hard enough all year round to go away and just enjoy yourself. If you want to drink a million cocktails, if you want to eat everything at the buffet, do it. But it's just about being mindful of what is actually, if you're not enjoying it, it makes you feel like shit.
Well, that's the thing. You end up being
the point?
fed up with food, don't you? Like you just
I
end up
crave
being like,
nice foods when I get home and like nice fresh fruit and that because
even like if you're someone like you've just said, Jen, who likes moderation in life and who likes having goals and here at home, set yourself little mini goals. Like it doesn't have to be restrictive. Like you said, it could be, okay, if I'm having a healthy lunch, I'll go all out at dinner. Or if I'm having, you know, if I fancy having ice cream today, I won't have dessert with me evening meal. That's not, again, that sounds the way I'm saying it like I'm putting a mental restriction on myself. But for someone who maybe in the UK deals quite well with having purpose like that, I tend to do things like that myself. If I don't have like a little daily mini goal, I tend to fall off track a little bit. And that's just the nature of who I am. So other people might be similar. If you have a little daily pledge to yourself, let's just say with your food, or it doesn't have to be food, it could be like with your steps we said before or something like that. Once you've done that little daily pledge, it's a tick in a box, and I like getting ticks because that's how I feel.
That's how you, I think so. One thing that I work on a lot with my like one-to-one clients is we build healthy habits at home, and those healthy habits don't have to look the same, but they do spill into holiday. So like a lot of people will be like, how do I manage the holiday? I'm like, well, obviously you want to go and enjoy yourself. So any of this advice that I give you, feel free to put it in the bin and pay no attention to it. But if you go and you do want to like maintain, because you feel so good now because of this nutrition that you're fueling yourself with and this movement that you're doing, and you don't want to lose that a few days in, you just don't want to feel meh, then why don't you have a breakfast and lunch that look very similar to your breakfast and lunch at home, and then enjoy your evening meals, have you start a main dessert, drink a bottle of wine, do whatever you want. But at least by reining in breakfast and lunch, you're still like managing that. Like you're not having 3 plates every meal for 3 days and then feeling like crying because you've ruined it all.
It's not going to be that hard for when you get home.
And then when you get home, you just get
doing what you're used to then.
Yeah, exactly. So I think just like the whole mentality of going on holiday in the first place is like a shift for people. And if you're not mega restrictive beforehand, you won't feel like you need to massively overindulge when you're there. Like if you enjoy your habits, like what you said at the start, then you do want to maintain them to a certain extent while you are away. But then when you get back, you don't feel like, oh, I've got it. You're not starving when you get back because you've already kind of been balanced in your approach.
Another one that like what you've just said, hey, that relates to that is start. If you do want to do like to have a fat loss goal before your holiday, that's fine, but start it early. Because if you do that 12 weeks out, you might hit your goal 8 weeks in and then be able to stop tracking, enjoy yourself a little bit more, take the foot off the gas a little bit for 4 weeks leading up to your holiday. That then encourages the healthier mindset on your holiday. But if you're like rushing right up to your holiday of like, oh, I've got another kilogram to lose this week, how restrictive does that feel when you're stepping foot on that plane thinking, you know, I've only just hit my goal, yes, get it. And then when you're there, you feel super disappointed that you're going off the rails when you're not, but it's just a complete contradiction to what you were doing. So it's like, if you start early, achieve your results, take your foot off the gas, enjoy life again.
And
then it feels normal to go on holiday. It's just life then.
I think if you start early as well, you've already built them healthy habits, so they're instilled in you. So you're not going to struggle when you get home to actually get back on track because it's your routine then, isn't it? It's what you're used to.
You're reducing the risk of like yo-yoing if you've done it on the long term. That's what we always say, isn't it? Like if you try and do it like 4 weeks before the holiday, then it's not routine, it's not habit. You haven't built like those long-term sustainable habits. But if you start 6 months before, 4 months before, 3 months before,
then, isn't it?
You've had enough time to build a good routine to be able to get some decent results, and also feels easier to get back to it when you get home. So I think My main tips for coming home from holiday is like absolutely don't weigh yourself.
Oh
until-
no, do not step on them scales.
I always get like these messages, doesn't matter how many fucking times I say it. It's like, why are you saying, oh yeah, I've just got off the plane and I've just weighed myself. Oh my God, I weigh
like
5
people
pounds
wanna
more.
punish
I'm like,
themselves
what's
there.
wrong with
Yeah,
you? Like,
yeah.
why do you feel like you needed to?
You know what I done though? Sorry to interrupt you. You know what I done though when I came home? I mean, my holidays are sometimes very different. They're not that chilled, but I do a lot of steps dancing. But like, I came home from my holiday and I don't know. I think I'd had a few days where I was drinking quite a bit because it was a party holiday, and I was like, you know what? I'll give myself like a day of like just pigging out, resting, and then I really need to get back into my routine. And I don't know what possessed me. And I stood on the scales purely because I thought I'd lost weight because of all the dancing that I'd done.
Partying.
and I stood on them. And the scales had obviously went up, and I weren't disheartened or anything. And I thought, yeah, because I've pigged out on like fatty foods and all salty foods, it's water retention as well, blah, blah, blah. And then I gave it a few days just to say, drank loads of my water, got back into my routine, moved my body, just got back into my normal, like healthy routine with normal food. And I'd lost like 3 pounds. And it's like, we go crazy because if you're going to step on the scales and you don't understand that potentially is just water, like it's not really, you're not going to gain that much fat. Like, let's be honest. I feel like don't let yourself spiral, because if you just think that that's fat,
You're going to freak out.
Yeah.
you're going to freak. So what are you putting yourself through it for?
I think like so many people are attached still to this day to scale weight, and it's so harmful because when you come back, it's like you've just said, hey, people step on to punish themselves, to like prove, look at what you've done on your holiday.
what
But
it
it's
is.
like,
Yeah.
why are we having that relationship with ourselves where we want to prove to yourself, you're right, you fucked up, now you got to get back on that diet again. It's like people want to prove a point to themselves.
Yeah.
But something that I'd say to avoid that is set yourself a little goal that has nothing to do with aesthetics when you get home. So we spoke about this on another podcast, but performance goal. So when you get home, maybe have a park run booked on the Saturday, or, you know, something like you want to lift a certain weight in a gym class in Lift and Glow on that Wednesday when you go in. So have a little goal that's got nothing to do with you actually relating to the scales when you get home, but maybe make it performance related so that it's nothing to do with how you like are perceived like physically.
Yeah, I love that. That is like a really good idea, because obviously the shift has come when you come back from holiday. The shift probably isn't about how you look as much anymore.
No.
And so focusing on performance can give you that
Just
drive
change
to,
it,
to
to get
in.
back into it.
So just going back to the scales briefly, if you come home from holiday and you step on the scales, what you have to remember is if you weigh 5 pounds more in a week, then okay, a pound or two might be fat because you've lived your fucking life, and so you should. But also you've travelled on an airplane most of the time. You've also ate like saltier, higher carb food. You might have also been in a hot country, so there's going to be water. There's going to be like and you maybe have sleep deprivation involved in there too.
Bowel movements. No
bowel
one goes to
no
toilet
one
on
goes to
holiday.
toilet after
No
48
female
hours of
I
being
know.
Them
goes to toilet on
airplanes do
holiday.
When
something
you're on
to
a
your
plane,
body.
Step foot in another country and I can't go.
I think it's women's body. We proper
No,
get
I
it.
don't think it is just women, but I think like
maybe we just
when
moan
you-
more
when
about
you-
being bloated.
when you fly. So you know the way a packet of crisps like
Yeah, that's it.
So your stomach's full of it.
Altitude,
I don't know how true this is, because this is honestly just something that I've seen.
Well,
on, like,
I feel
social media.
I feel like that
But
packet
it
of
makes
crisps.
sense to me because like if there's air in your stomach and that expands, then like, and so your stomach does struggle. So if you're feeling bloated, like my mate come home from holiday the other day and she's like, oh, I can't even put my clothes up. I'm like, bloated. You are bloated.
You've
like
not gained fat, you're bloated.
water, you're bloated.
Yeah.
Like, know the difference. Probably haven't been for a poo in a few
Yeah,
days.
literally.
Normal behaviour after.
Yeah.
So when you step on the scales, know that you're probably full of shit. You're full of air and you're full of water.
Yeah, literally.
And
I'm full of ale.
full of ale. And it's absolutely normal to step on the scales and weigh more.
Yeah.
Your job is not to freak out and not do anything drastic.
No.
So what I usually
Give
say
it a
to
few
people
days.
is, if you step on them scales and you come to me crying, then just know that that is your fault, not mine.
Yeah.
I've told you beforehand not to get on them. So what I usually say to people is give yourself at least a full week.
Yeah.
So do not step on the scales. Give yourself a full week of normality. That means your 3 high protein meals, your 5 fruit and veg, your shit ton of water, and then maybe getting into a couple of workouts.
Yeah.
Then at the end of that week, and a full week, not just 2 days, 3 days, like a full week of it, then step on the scales.
Yeah.
And then tell me where you're at. And they're normally the same as before
Or
the
a tiny
holiday.
fluctuation.
Or it's
Yeah.
a pound or two.
Yeah.
And that's like when they've been to an all-inclusive. That's
Yeah,
when they've had
yeah.
a wild one.
Yeah.
And it's a pound or two, because I think so many women are obsessed with like how fragile their results are because they feel like they have to work to get them. They feel like they're really fragile. And I'm like, honestly, in a week, it's not that easy to undo like 6 months, 3 months of work.
100%, yeah.
You know, you'd have to eat a hell of a lot and drink a hell of a lot to completely undo it.
Even here, like not many people would do it here, but again, when they get back off holiday, for some reason they do it. But in the UK, if you stepped on the scales day to day, hour to hour, that figure would look different.
Yeah,
so it's like you've got to realise that as a woman, but just in general,
as a
your
person,
hormones will fluctuate, the scales will therefore fluctuate. Like you cannot go off them because that figure's fragile. Your results might be fragile, but that figure on the scales is fragile as well. Like it's never lasting.
It's I like to always say the scales are fickle. So like they don't actually tell you reality. They just tell you they tell you your total body weight, which doesn't just mean fat. It means like water, food, you know, like digestion. Like there's more to it than that, and it's always fluctuating. So I would say when you come home from holiday, definitely do not step on the scales. And if you do, and that makes you upset, then we warned you. Like, do you know what I mean? Just don't do it.
I do it purely to prove a point to my clients. Don't stress about it.
Give yourself a solid week of getting back on track. And when I say getting back on track, what I usually say to my clients and what a lot of them have been doing, particularly this year, I just feel like it's clicked for so many of them. They're ordering their food shop or at least planning in their food shop for the day they get home. So like when they get home, whether that's a Thursday or a Saturday, they're like food shop. Like they're getting the food shop in and they don't wait until the following Monday. Like some people were getting home on like a Tuesday and then wait until the following Monday. I'm like, you just gave yourself another week.
Basically another week, isn't it?
You might have put another 2 pounds on, but that's your fault.
Because you've not returned to your normal routine. So what I like to remind people of is that when you're at home, that's your normal routine and that's a routine that you should enjoy. At no point should you be eating meals that you don't like. At no point should you be following a routine that you don't enjoy. Therefore, when you come back from holiday, it should be like nice and smooth for you to get into it. So as soon as you get home, don't delay, get your food shopping. So a lot of the girls, they're on evening flights and they're getting it delivered for like 10 a.m. in the morning.
Brilliant.
So then when they wake up, they've got a brekkie.
They're all organised.
Yeah, they don't need to order the Mackies,
No.
don't need to order the bacon butties or whatever. I mean, bacon butties is absolutely fine to have, by the way, but they're not ordering shit because they're not prepared. They're prepared from day one. I
think as well, like you're talking about food maintenance. Like I have a client at the moment who has been in a deficit for quite a long time. I want to say a long time. We've had like blips. So there's been weeks where she's not actually been in a deficit, but just due to the nature of her fat loss, which she wanted quite a lot of it, it's like she's done so well up to now, but she's hit a bit of a plateau. Over the past 2 weeks, I've told her we need to be back at maintenance. She was quite reluctant to do it. I said, I really want to push those calories back up now. I know you've been reluctant, but over that week, just she's got another week of it. Over this week, the scales have moved down because she's naturally probably A, following it for one, not actually like going above her calories, but B, feeling better in herself mentally and physically, enjoying her gym because she has energy to lift. So a lot of people coming back from a holiday, I would personally say, even if you've still got a little bit of fat loss that you want, enjoy a few weeks at maintenance because it's going to be more of a easier mentally to come back to that than it is to go
putting the pressure
got a
on
deficit
yourself,
again. It's horrible.
It's 1,000% an easier transition because we struggle with hunger anyway, don't we, when we get home? Like if you've had a period of eating a little bit more, your body and your stomach is used to getting that fuel. So you're gonna be battling with hunger a little bit. So it's just an easier transition to go to maintenance and then if you need to or if you want to for whatever reason, then go into a deficit after that. But you know, like a lot of the time you don't need to live your life in a deficit. You don't always need to be losing weight. Like you can come back from holiday and just be like, you know what, kind of done with dieting for now. Let's instead just, like you said, focus on performance. Let's start getting stronger. Let's start running further or faster. And
you're still doing them things, and it's just a mindset shift of that. Then, like you still probably, when you're focusing on performance, you're still doing, you'll still be fueling your body in the correct way because you want to lift heavier. You'll still be, training a certain amount of times a week. So all them things will go hand in hand with building the body that you want anyway, without thinking, oh, we need to be in a deficit. It's like the pressure's took off a little bit then
Yeah.
as
I
well.
always say
You
to
don't
my
have the
girls,
pressure of the holiday. You
Yeah.
can just enjoy.
And it's just
looking after
more
yourself.
enjoyable.
I
Then,
always
yeah.
say to my girls, like, the body's the byproduct. So when you start focusing on the body as the secondary thing that gets changed as a result of your lifestyle change, you enjoy it so much more. So like we've just said then, Jen, when you go up to maintenance, you start focusing on your routine more, build healthy habits. Oh, look, I've lost a little bit of weight anyway. Oh, look, my body looks better in the mirror. My clothes fit better. So when you stop fixating so much on the scales, it will come. Like it's a natural. I'm like quite airy-fairy about these things too, but I do believe that like if you manifest that change through making other things happen around it, the universe will listen.
No, 1,000%.
But also your body will respond.
Yeah. So like this is what I'm constantly saying, and anyone who listens to the podcast and the weekly Q&As, I am constantly saying, focus on the process, not the outcome. So like you can weigh yourself obsessively and you can make the whole process a living hell for yourself, or you can just do the work anyway.
Yeah.
You know what your calorie target should be, or if you're not tracking your calories, you know what your meal structure should be and your portion sizes should be.
Yeah.
You know the training program you've got. You know your steps. You know your fucking plan. Follow the plan. Trust it. And then when you could not weigh yourself for 6 months and you will still lose fat if you follow the plan.
Yeah.
You know, like, so you don't need to obsess about the outcome.
And it
to
should
get
be enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's part of your lifestyle, it should be enjoyable.
Think about the process, think about the behaviours. So going back to getting back on track after a holiday, let's think like actionable things. We're saying just fucking do it.
Yeah.
What does just fucking do it mean? So for me, coming home, don't weigh yourself. You're only going to make you're just going to make yourself upset. Just don't do it, especially if you have
Especially
like,
if you don't understand. That's what I mean. If you don't understand that is going to be water and you're going to get disheartened by it. Like, just 2012, me, Hayley could not have stepped on them scales.
No way. She could not. I'd have been like...
Yeah, literally. I would have been crying on Hayley's shoulder. But if you're not someone who... This is what I was saying before about stepping on the scales. If you're not someone who actually understands that that's not all going to be fat, or you know that it's going to be... You're going to get caught up on it. You're going to beat yourself up. Don't do it.
Yeah, just
don't do it.
Just downright don't.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't really matter, like...
No, it's like
your weight. Your weight is just one small part of it. So, like, I would say that, and then I would say also, like, let's get prepared on when you're going to do your food shop. So, you might have done your online food order to get delivered the morning that you arrive. You might be like, right, it could be a case of you saying to your partner or whoever it is and lives in your house or you're on holiday with, like, right, let's get up in the morning and go do our food shop. Or on the way home from the airport, let's just get a quick, there's a Marxies at Manchester Airport.
Just get a few days.
I get off the plane and go straight to that Marxies. I get milk, I get like little fruit, I get things straight away. So that when I wake up or when I get home, I've got something to eat.
Yeah.
So just get prepared food-wise. And then the thing that I definitely do is I just look at so I have this thing about like, because I shoot back to work. I don't have any extra days.
Yeah.
So I like just shoot back to work. So and I know a lot of people do that as well. So when I'm planning my work calendar and looking at my diary, I'm also looking at the workout. So I'm like, right, I'm going to train at Lift and Glow there. I'm going to do a run here. Yeah. So just as soon as you get home, if you want an actionable thing to do and you're thinking, how do I get back on track? Just do that. Yeah. Plan the food, plan the workouts. Like, that's it.
And don't step on the scales.
I think everyone always says, don't they book your workouts in like you'd book your nails or your hair, like an appointment. You've got to book yourself in with yourself, because I feel like it's a promise to you. So when you put in like, oh, nails 2 p.m. Tuesday, also put Lift and Glow 7 a.m. Tuesday. Do you write that in your diary?
I do that.
This is why, like, if I opened my diary here, you'd see my workouts are in there. Yeah. And this is why I think Lift and Glow works so well, because there is, and also having a PT or having a coach. Because one of the things, like with my online coaching girls, when one of them's struggling with getting to the gym, I'm like, right, you're going to reply to me right now and tell me what days and what times you're going this week. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to say, oh, maybe here, maybe there. No. I want to know a day and a time, and I want to see it, like a screenshot shot of it in your calendar. Because I'm like, that's what works for me, because I'm a counsellor. I counsel myself. Like, that's something that I do.
We all do.
So I need that with me, and I know that other people need that as well. And like, so it works, like things where you actually book it in with someone, or like you tell someone. So like, it could be me saying to Fran, on Thursday, I'm going for a run. And then he'll go to me, have you been? And if I go, no, I'll be like, oh.
Yeah,
Whereas
you
I want to be
feel
like,
bad
hey,
then.
guess what? I went on my run.
Yeah.
And he's like, well in.
Yeah.
So I just think having like that accountability from a gym or from a PT or from an online coach or just, you know, a partner, a support system helps you like book that in.
Yeah.
And I think getting back from holiday and booking it in straight away, being intentional. Don't be like, oh, well, I'll just see this week. I'll just go
I'll
with
just
the
go
flow.
next week at some point.
Because you're never going
and
to
then-
feel like
no.
it. It's not going to happen. That feeling's not going to miraculously come back.
No.
The feeling's going to come from your momentum of being back in
and
the swing
just
of things.
doing it.
Doing it.
And also, I read this amazing quote, and I've spoke about it loads since. So when people get back from holiday, they're like, oh, well, I'll start eating healthy again next week, or I'll start back the gym next week. I'm just going to ease myself into the week this week. And they don't realize by doing that, they're making it harder. So the more that you put something off, especially a hard thing, the harder it gets. So for example, think about like, say, you know, your bathroom needs cleaning. And every day you leave it, it gets worse. And that job gets, I fucking hate
It's my
cleaning the
worst
bathroom.
household
I used to
task.
have a
I hate
cleaner,
it.
right? I used to have a cleaner. And every time it comes to cleaning my bathroom now, I'm like, why don't I have
I
a
can't
fucking
wait to
cleaner?
have a cleaner back.
hate
I
it.
cannot
No,
wait.
I just don't have one anymore
hate it.
because I'm like, you can do it yourself. Like, just get
Just
over
don't let
yourself.
it get that bad that it's awful. I'm
So,
saying
But honestly, so like, I'm like, but it grows. Like this quote said, the thing that you're avoiding, the hard thing that you're avoiding, it doesn't just go away. It doesn't just grow. It doesn't just disappear. It grows, sharper teeth and stronger claws. And basically like it gets scarier. So like that bathroom, the shower just gets worse. There's more hair, there's more fluff, there's more scum. It's like fuck. Every day it gets worse. It is the same every day you avoid your workout. And it is the same every day you avoid doing that food shop or starting eating healthy or going for that walk. It's everything. It doesn't feel easier the longer you leave it. You're making it harder for yourself.
Especially as someone who's like if you have had a fat loss goal prior to your holiday, and then that is your concern when you come home, like you've just said, it grows like teeth and nails, whatever. The 2 weeks that go by, you can put more weight on in that time.
1000%.
1 week, okay, you've got back, like you're back in the swing of things. It's a lot easier to jump back to the weight you were at in like that week that you're back than to leave it another week and then to have to lose 4 kilograms instead of 2. So it's like it multiplies. And if that is your concern, then focus on that. Like we're not saying obviously be too focused on fat loss as such, but if it is a concern of yours, then you should be thinking far down the line, oh, hang on a sec, next week I'm going to have to lose another bloody kilogram.
I'm
So
only
let's
making
get
it
on
harder.
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that I try and like recommend to all of my clients is like, think a bouncy ball. When you throw a bouncy ball on the floor, when you drop a bouncy ball, it bounces right back. So like after a night out, bounce back. Go back to the normal routine the next day. After, say you eat a shea bar, you just accidentally ate a shea bar.
We've been there.
Doesn't matter, you can still eat your nutritious tea.
Yeah.
When you go on holiday, as soon as you get back home, you bounce back like that bouncy ball. Like just minimize the time between the gaps. It's okay to have gaps.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's okay, but
it's
just
part of
not,
life.
don't leave it for too long to the point where you're just stuck
Because
in the
one week
cycle
easily becomes 3,
100%,
easily becomes a month.
Yeah.
How anxious do we get as well when like I know you'll be the same, but when I've not been in the gym for like a week, we all get it, even as coaches. I get pure
Gym
anxiety
fear.
if I've
'Cause
been
you've
away.
got it,
Because one, you get FOMO when you're watching everyone when you're away and you're thinking, oh God, they've like all progressed. But then when you do come back, if you leave it even longer, it's like that fear grows inside of you. Like, oh, what are they going to, even though they won't think anything, you develop that snowball, like you've just said, in your own mind of anxiety and fear, and then you don't go because it gets even worse. And
do you know what makes me shoot straight back to the gym? The fear of the DOMs.
Yeah.
The fear of the DOMs. Like, honestly, like, that makes me, cause I think people, when they have a week or two off, they're like, oh God, it's going to be so hard when I go back. I'm going to feel so sore. I'm like, well, imagine if that's 2 months. Like, I literally remember the moment I said to myself, I am never not going to the gym for that long ever again. And it was because like I didn't go for like 6 months and then just went in and did back squats. I think it might have even been gym and volume training. Like I just was not okay at all. I had no idea what I was doing and I couldn't walk. And I was like, never, ever, ever again am I not going to the gym for like 6 months. And like, I don't know. So when I'm on holiday, say if I'm on holiday and I'm enjoying, there's been plenty of times where I've gone on holiday and not gone to the gym at all.
Yeah.
So if I'm just enjoying a nice break, I feel zero guilt for it. But I'm excited to get back because I know the sooner I get back, the easier it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I would just say, be a bouncy ball. Don't weigh yourself. And just like try and think that it's okay to enjoy your holiday. But when you're at home, think normal routine.
Yeah.
The longer you leave it, the harder it is.
I think,
to
do
get
you want
back
to be
it.
doing what you're doing today 10 years down the line? And if you don't, then change it, because that time will come. And when you're at that point, can you sustain what you're doing right now in your life? And if not, then it's clearly not enjoyable and you don't like it. Like, there's a lot of people out there, and I hate to say it, but you look at them and you think, there's no way you're enjoying doing that. And there's just no way you're going to be able to do it when your joints are fucked. You know, you've had your baby, or your baby's grown up and they're in school. You know, all these things change life. So you've got to create something that is adaptable and sustainable.
Yeah.
Like, not something that's going to feel like you've dropped from 100 to 0 if you've changed it slightly.
Yeah.
Whereas adaptable is like, small tweaks don't make a difference. We just overcome them.
I just think as well, like, if you're fearing getting back to it, you just probably were being a bit too intense. Like, I just don't have any fear of getting back to my normal routine, because I love what I eat and I love how I train. I'm
not
like
a chore, or it's not.
I am honestly the opposite of intense. Like, I train 3 times a week, run maybe once. Like,
but you look
my
great.
meals are great. Like, I can't remember the last time I weighed myself, and that's all like really great and really freeing. But that's how health is meant to be. Like,
we've been
it
tricked
isn't
by social media.
everyone's being completely brainwashed that you've got to be super skinny, you've got to be super light, and you've got to be so intense. Like, you might see people on Instagram in the gym 7 days a week, but that doesn't mean that they're well.
No.
Like,
it doesn't. That doesn't mean health, does it? It doesn't mean they're healthy. I would say, coming back from a holiday, what I say to my clients is stick to the basics. Like, that is literally it for now. Like, I had a client who went on an all-inclusive not long ago, lived the best life, which she should, and I was made up that she did, because she is so consistent in the gym with her food nonstop. Like, she's been training with me now for nearly 2 years, like, constantly consistent. Goes away on holiday, goes on nights out, enjoys herself, has a lovely balance. But she came home, and the first day I seen her, she was like, Jen, like, I can't. Like, she felt dead bloated. And I was like, listen, like, when did you get back? And she was like, 2 days ago. And I was like, it's fine. You are in the gym right now. Like, you haven't like let it carry on. She was like, no, I needed to get back. I said, have you got back to, have you been with your food? Well, better. Drank water. I was like, are you like eating the way like you would before? Like, she weren't an all or nothing girl. Do you know what I mean? She just had a good lifestyle.
Habits.
It weren't very intense. And she was like, just back to normal, back to my routine. And I'm telling you now, I'd say a week or so later, she felt she felt sound. She was just like, she looked different as well, because she just felt like
a bouncy ball. She just got back
literally
home and did it.
Yeah, and it weren't an all or nothing thing. She didn't come home and go like, okay, Jen, like, I'm not eating anything now. Like, okay, book me in every single day. Like, it weren't that. She just got back to a routine, and sticking to the basics is key. Drink your water. Like, you're probably dehydrated from your holiday anyway. Like, especially if you've been drinking a lot, you know what I mean? Drink your water. Get out on a little walk. It doesn't have to be, oh my God, I need to hit 15,000 steps a day. Like, chill out with it. Just make sure you're sleeping, you're eating well or eating better.
Yeah.
And have your water. Simple.
And like, let's just, the reality of this, right, is like, going on holiday is such a luxury. And if most people I know work really hard to go on holiday, they save a lot, they work really hard, and like, they deserve to go away and enjoy themselves.
This is what I mean.
If you go on holiday, like I say to my clients, you even think about calories when you're on holiday. Like, like, it's okay to think about like habits. Like, I think about fueling myself. But you know,
but don't like shit on your holiday.
But also, if I'm in Mexico for 10 days, I'm probably going to be managing my breakfast and my lunch, because I'm at a buffet and I don't love all of the food anyway.
Bored of it anyway.
But if I'm in Italy for 4 days, I'm waking up and I'm eating pastries. I'm eating pizza for lunch and pasta for tea, and I'm having gelato every day, as well as wine and Aperol. But I'm when in Rome, that is what I'm doing. It's like, it's choosing like what do you value in that moment? Like, if I'm at a buffet in Mexico, I'm like, I'm actually not asked about pancakes. I will have fruit and yogurt.
Like, just have it for the sake of it.
But
make
then
sure
also,
it's enjoyable for
if you're like, I really want the pancakes, eat them and don't feel guilty for it, because returning back to you would be surprised at how quickly you will adjust when you just return back quickly. I think that is like the best tip that we could give anyone for getting back on track, regardless of how the holiday went. When you get home, just get back to your healthy habits, which you should already have embedded, because that should be your way of life.
You've just said how you hit the nail on the head. And I did a post on this before, and I was like thinking, oh my God, I used to do so many of these things, and it's actually quite sad, like about food. And it was like, the more you think about something and you're staring at the cake or you're staring at the pasta or the pizza on holiday, and the more you have to debate whether you have that or not in your mind, is actually unhealthy. Like, that's not a healthy mindset to be in.
Yeah.
And I remember it so like not fondly, like, or not fondly
Vividly.
at all. Vividly, that's the word. But when you come home, you don't want to be in a place of like battling whether you do I go back to 1,400 calories or do it, like, that's not a healthy place. So if you are in that place, please reach out, because like to your coach, to your gym, to like you know, someone to talk to, like a therapist, because I spent years personally in therapy for that. Like that was something that really plagued my mind, and I still to this day have that battle sometimes where I've gotta say to myself, no, Lois, you've made a choice, stand by it. Like, you've chose to enjoy the pasta, enjoy it, move on. Like it's like you've got to, it depends the relationship you've had with food in the past, but the more you obsess over something and how like vociferously you feel for something, that's not healthy. Like that mindset shouldn't be that passionate about that one thing. So it's like, think about that when you come home. Like how much have you thought about that cake? How much have you thought about that?
You 1000% should not be feeling guilt. So for example, like I was speaking on the Q&A this week, I call them fuck yes moments or fuck yes days. Yeah. And it's basically where it is a fuck yes. You know what I mean? Like it's like, this is important to me. This is like, so for example, in Rome, every day is fuck yes because you are in Rome. And
you stand by that choice because you want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So at the weekend, I went out Hindu and it's a fuck yes moment. I ignored all of so like I have these like kind of guidelines for when clients are eating out at restaurants or you know, going out for drinks, and 90% of the time I would say I follow them. Yeah. So most of the time when I'm going for drinks, I'm gonna have a couple of what I want and then pull back a little bit. Yeah. Especially if I was at a very busy social life, but I don't because I'm boring. But for me, Hindu, it's a fuck yes moment. Not once did I have a single gin or a single vodka. I had Aperol all day, 12 hours straight. I drank Aperol spritzers. Didn't have shots, didn't have a Mackey's on the way home. And I also didn't feel guilty about having some chicken Caesar croissant, which had no fucking protein or whatever in. And so you have to remember that in life, there are moments that you are, and there's many moments that you're going to have a fuck yes moment. It might be your 30th birthday. It might be the entire 10 days you're in Mexico because you've saved 2 years for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, or it might, you know, you're going to have these moments and these times where you need to live life, and that is part of health. Yeah. And it isn't okay for you to like beat yourself up. No. To like, if you've come back from like a once in a lifetime holiday and all you can do is feel terrible
and want to jump on the scale, and want to jump on the scales when you get home and just beat yourself
up. You're basically ruining the holidays
memory. You've ruined the whole experience.
Because all you're doing is putting a negative slant on it. Like, unfortunately, so it might not be
and
your
isn't
fault,
it such a shame though? Like I think about this like a lot. Like, when, you know, you speak to your clients and then they do get really disheartened about certain things, or go, oh, why did you do that? Or went away and I go, did you enjoy yourself now? Yeah. And like, I just think like, I don't know, I feel like this is like a very an emotional thing when I think about it, but I think you only get one life, and like life is to, I'm due on, so I'll probably start crying in a minute, but life is to be lived, you know what I mean? And like, like we want, you know, our health to be, you know, top tier for longevity of life and things, but at the end of the day, you need to live your life. And if, you know, going out for a meal with friends and, you know, you're not counting calories one day and you want to eat the pizza and eat the sides and have a cocktail that one day, like, you don't do it every day, fucking do it. Like, I feel like if you go on holiday, like, this isn't our life every single day. Like you said, they are fuck yes moments. So take them while you can, because...
You live your healthy habits, and they're like your norm. They're like your consistent thing like that you do. You're taking care of your well-being, but you don't have to always be healthy to be healthy.
And appreciate them unhealthy moments because... Does that make sense?
Well, it is healthy to be unhealthy sometimes.
They're healthy for your brain, they're healthy for your soul.
Yeah, like serotonin levels are boosted when you are out doing these things. And I just think
we're trying to like have a fine balance between the brain, the body and the soul. And you can't please all three at once. Or if you are doing it, like, you're doing a really good job, because most of us in this life are just spinning plates. And when one goes, we go back over and keep spinning it. So a lot of the time there is battles, and you've got to kind of like look at the other thing. But like you just said, Jen, like, a lot of the time we're ignoring the thing that matters the most, like the soul and the heart, and what do I want?
Life is literally to be lived, and it's like, obviously, the thing that I think is, if you are unhappy with yourself and you really want to make that change, then some things will have to be sacrificed, and that's that.
Yeah.
But if you are at a point where you've been in that deficit and you've lost that weight and you feel amazing and you've went on holiday and you feel good, why on earth are you then coming home after you've had this precious moment of, you've worked so hard, you've had the best time on your holiday, you've picked out so what? All your hard work hasn't gone to shit when you come home. Like, appreciate that moment, and you have been happy in the way you are. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
I think like what we're trying to get at is that we're going back to this thing that we constantly say on this podcast, is that weight loss doesn't equal health, and that health is so multifaceted. And I think too many people have minimized it to what a body looks like or what a body weighs, or like it being about this like constantly colourful diet or this constant active lifestyle, when health is like really multifaceted. Health is taking rest days, it's taking holidays, it's having celebrations, it's enjoying social connection, it's not obsessing over food.
100%.
It's like it's having this healthy balance between it all, and going on holiday and enjoying your holiday and not beating yourself up from getting home is part of having a healthy life.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
That is health. That is healthy.
And okay, you might have gained a couple of pounds, but you've made a shit ton of memories.
And if you've got a coach as well, if you've got a coach, have that conversation with them, because I've got a client who just went to Lisbon for 4 days, and we had the chat before she went, and she was like, do you know what, Lo? I'm not going to go to the gym when I'm there, because I did offer her to, if you, like, she had a gym in a hotel. I said, would you like me to change your program just for this week? I can give you 1 or 2 or just 1 or none. And she was like, you know what? None, because I'm going to go, I'm going to be enjoying food. Me and my fellow will be getting loads of steps in anyway, and I'm going to eat all the food. And do you know what? She's came back home, and like you've said, hey, she got straight back on it because she made the choice and she stuck by it. Whereas I feel like in the past, I've made the mistake of going on holiday and going, right, I'm going to do 5 workouts out of the 8 days, and then like doing none, coming home and then feeling shit about my holiday because I went with an unrealistic expectation. So whatever choice you make, stand by it and be proud of it. Like, it's fine to make a choice that's not the norm, but then just be proud, own it, and then fuck yes, like come home and change. Like,
and also fine. Like one thing that I like to say to clients is just wake up and see how you feel. Yeah. So like whenever I go on holiday, people are like, are you going to train? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And I'm like, just going to see how I feel. Yeah. So every day I'll wake up and if you want to indulge, I'll indulge. And if I don't, I won't. And if I want to train, I'll train. And if I don't, I won't. And I just don't have guilt. But that's just because I've spent so much time just understanding what balance is and how to have a healthy approach to it. I think obviously holidays, they need to be enjoyed. If you're having like immense guilt, that's something to work on with regards to relationship with your food, relationship with exercise, and also maybe an obsession or fixation on weighing a certain amount.
And a relationship with yourself, because like I feel like that's what I was saying before, like if you are in a happy place with yourself and you feel
you don't think about your weight,
content enough, then if you were to come home and really beat yourself up about it, then maybe it's something that you need to consistently work on with yourself to get to that point then, isn't it? Like otherwise, why are we having them moments if we can't enjoy it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
On our deathbed, are we going to be thinking about maintaining this super lightweight on the scales, or are we going to remembering all the amazing memories that we made with people?
I'll sob.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean?
No.
Like and that is something you said before. You said before, like we only have one life, but anyone listening to this podcast, I am so morbid. I literally say we only get to be here once.
But it is, but it's so true, and it really like hurts me to the core sometimes, because I feel like you go through all this like. I don't know, like
you go through it and then you see clients go through it and you just want to be like, oh, like you know what's coming.
The reason that we're saying this and we feel so strongly about it is because we've all missed out on bits of life because
and we've all
wanting to
been through it and proper like beat ourselves up and
it's sad to see other women doing it.
And you think, fucking hell, that was probably a brilliant holiday, and I've come home and cried because and what, like focus on the good memories that you've made. Like you've came home, like. And what if
or
you
a year later, you don't remember it, but a week after your holiday, you're like, oh, I'm fucking this, that. And then the next year, you're like, ball, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like in that moment when it's so raw, you've got to have a words with yourself and remind yourself, a year from now, is that going to matter? Yeah. No, shut up, get on with it. It was amazing. Like, let's move. Because then a year down the line, you're not going to remember that croissant, are you? Like,
no. you honestly do have to coach yourself constantly through life. And like, I think this is one of the problems with like modern society. This is another tangent, but like none of us actually being in our brain enough or being in our head enough, and like this sort of that
don't
I'm
wanna
so
be
huge
like
about.
me.
No, but glazing over you. Like,
No, but like
Oh Jesus,
this is
It's a
something
hard
that I'm
life.
so big about, like all the screens and all distractions
no,
and
I
all the
agree.
constant, like you
I
can't
agree.
go for a meal with someone and then step away from the table and then without them doing
It's
this. Every
it's an
time you're
addiction.
standing in a coffee shop or something, everyone's like this, and I'm like, be with your
And one of
brain,
the main
be with your
reasons-
thoughts, and like you will make better decisions with food. You'll
Yeah.
beat yourself up less when you make like different decisions. Like just be with yourself more
Yeah,
and
that's
coach
right.
yourself more.
And one of the main
Like,
things holidays are difficult for, like you've just said, is bikini pictures.
Yeah.
Because of social media,
Yeah.
I
people
know.
want to go and look
That's
a
the
certain way.
pressure.
You're not
That
asked what
is-
you look
that
like in
is
front
true.
of your
It
fella.
is, yeah.
Exactly.
I honestly can't remember the last time I posed
You,
for a bikini picture.
you said this, and
I know.
I did a
I
post
always
about
remember
it,
you.
didn't
yeah,
I?
yeah, and you know what? It's so right though. Like,
Yeah.
who are we doing this for?
I used to go on holiday and I'd be like, Fran, get a picture of me in this bikini, get a picture. And it was like every day. And then
No,
I'd
yeah,
get like,
yeah.
that's the perfect one.
Yeah.
And I'd post it. And I honestly, I don't think he can remember the last time. He takes little candids
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
beach. Like, say if I'm like
We
in the
need the
sea
Frannies as
or like,
audible.
I know, or like, I don't know, I think like the last bikini picture I got, I was like leant over a sunbed and I was just like laughing my head off. And
Just
like,
enjoying
but I'm not
life,
standing
yeah.
posing. I'm not
No,
showing
yeah.
off my abs. I couldn't give a flying fuck.
Real
Like,
life,
who am I
that's
doing
what
this
it is.
for? Like, who am I doing it for? Because I wasn't doing it for myself.
It's like
It wasn't
approval.
for
It's
myself.
approval of others, but
Yeah.
but
It
why?
was so that other people could be like, oh my God, she looks amazing. It's
even
it's
you
that
you want that
gratification.
validation. Yeah.
Even
That's
as
what it
coaches, you
is.
feel like that. Because like I
I
went to
agree,
Ibiza
yeah.
and I was still getting bikini pictures in the mirror, but thinking, shit, I've got to use these pictures when I get home. I can't be looking like shit. But you shouldn't have to think like that because
No.
again, health doesn't equate to abs in a picture or whatever. Because again, how was my mindset or how was this? How was like, how was your night out? It doesn't, it's constant. Like, and people behind the screen don't see that side of it. They just say, wow, she looks boss.
Yeah.
But they don't think about
They
how
don't see
much
all the
go-
mental struggle.
the
Yeah.
mental battle behind the picture.
This is honestly why I completely refused to diet for the wedding. I've gone like backwards and forwards, like do a diet, do this, do that. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just not, because why?
Yeah.
Like it
You
just
look
shows
you look
that,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
but it just shows that like for some reason I'm not happy in my body. And also it shows that like I need to be smaller
Yeah.
to feel better in them
Yeah.
pictures. But why do I?
Yeah.
That one day,
yeah.
what's supposed to be one of the happiest days of your life.
Yeah.
And you somehow
And
we
I'm
still
gonna
make it about
add-
how we look.
It's already very difficult to plan a wedding and run a
Yeah.
business at the same time. Why am I adding a diet into
Yeah.
that? And also, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be for me. It would be
Social media
so
or-
that
yeah.
other people, so how other people
Yeah.
see me in my dress.
I think you've hit
wouldn't
the
be
nail
about
on the
me.
head. What you're saying though, like you feel good in yourself, and that's why like
I
there's
just know
no
I'm
added
healthy.
there's no added pressure. Whereas
Yeah.
like people who are doing these things and there's a deep rooted issue because you're not happy with yourself, and that's what people need to remember. The reason why we do this is because you clearly are not happy in your body.
Yeah.
And if you are happy in your body, then like if you've worked so hard to go on that holiday and it's like, oh well, I'll just get back on track. Well, you've been happy with your body on holiday, haven't you? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you've worked so hard.
Yeah.
So
Just
when
go
you
back
get
to doing-
back,
yeah.
do you get
Do
what I
what you
mean?
were
It's
doing,
like
yeah.
you, like you said, it's a bit more relaxed because you're relaxed for your wedding because you are happy within
Yeah.
yourself. And if you come home and you're not happy, then it's the basics and that's that.
Do what you did before.
do what you did before.
Yeah.
Like there's no magic secret thing to it. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. There's
Yeah.
no secret. There's no silver bullet. There's no like quick thing that's just going to like get you back on track. It is literally coming home, setting things in motion and following it.
and being a little bit more relaxed. Like it doesn't have to be that full on.
Yeah.
And just look back and think, wow, my God, I had a fucking brilliant time. on
Yeah.
holiday.
And just stay away
Life's
from
not
the
that
scales.
serious.
Yeah. It's not that deep.
and be a bouncy ball.
Be a
Literally.
bouncy ball. Be a
Be a
bouncy ball.
bouncy ball. That is it.
Fab. Thank you, girls.